When this video is up on my channel, I'm gonna be 30 years old already, and I'm honestly really excited about this. And over the last year, I have been thinking a lot about concluding my 20s and entering my 30s, and I had lots of different thoughts about it, and I have come to conclusion that I'm actually really excited about turning 30 and starting a new decade. And I wanted to fully embrace that and embrace myself and all the challenges and changes I've gone through over the years. Last year, I made a video about the lessons that I learned in 29 years of my life. And I gotta say that I will attach that video. It's really good. And all of those lessons are extremely relevant and good, And I kind of thought that I would be making a video like this year as well, because it's such a milestone in a way. However, I did not really want to make like a 30 lessons video kind of thing. And I talk about so many different things on this channel that I genuinely care about, and talk about so many different lessons and give advice that comes from my heart and comes from experience a lot of the times as well. There was one thing that really strongly resonated with me, especially lately, and that's what I wanted to talk about with you in this video. And I want to talk about specifically probably the most important thing that I learned in 30 years, and something that I want to keep reminding myself about, and I want to remind you about that as well, regardless of your age, whether you're younger or older or the same age as me. It doesn't really matter. It's extremely relevant. And I want to talk about putting yourself first. Yeah. Before we start, you guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. I'm very glad to welcome you into this space. It's a safe space where I talk about self-development, self-love, self-care. I give beauty advice, skincare advice, and I talk about things that I genuinely care about. So if you would like to support me, please subscribe to my channel. It would be honestly the best birthday gift. And please like this video and share it with your loved ones. So let's talk about putting yourself first. I understand that a lot of people talk about this, and I talk about it as well quite a lot on this channel, and I've realized that it kind of starts to sound a little bit like a broken record. And again, it's talked about so much, it's such a cliche topic, but the thing is that because I actually ended up in really hurtful and harmful situations, multiple times in my life, because I actually did not do that. I did not put myself first. I put other people's needs in front of my own, and that kind of cost me health. It cost me peace of mind. It cost me not enjoying my life at the time where I was really looking forward to enjoying my life, Like, that's such a weird thing to say out loud, to be honest with you. Like, you should be enjoying your life as much as you can. But there were times when, like, I would be really going through it and would be feeling really low, because I completely, like, put myself, like, at the back of my own mind and did not pay attention to myself, did not deem myself important enough. And I feel really strongly about this topic. I feel like it is that deep. It is that deep, is what I want to say. And the thing is that this is a lesson that I continue to learn, and that, like, is really sad in a way to say. And I really hope that, like, I have gotten a lot better at it. I know I have, but I really want to be better, I really want to be better to myself. The truth of the matter is that because I did not put myself first and prioritized other people's needs and wanted to be there for other people more so than for myself, I actually ended up in a hospital this summer. And that is something that almost, like, never happened to me before. It happened maybe like one time when I was a child. Other than that, that is not something normal or usual for me. So that really shook me to the core when I really thought about it. Like, I'm okay, everything is good. But when I really thought about it and I really thought about why this happened and like how did I even end up in a situation like this, I realized that that is because I continuously, consistently put other people before myself, put their needs before myself, and did not really care about myself as much as I should have. Even though I keep talking about this, I keep preaching about it. And I want to actually start, putting that more into practice myself in my 30s and moving forward. And I really want you to do the same, again, regardless of your age and situation. So, yes. So listen, I want you to notice your patterns. I want you to become very observant of your own behavior and to start noticing your patterns. Start noticing how you behave by yourself and how you behave with other people, specifically with different groups of people. Start noticing people-pleasing tendencies and behaviors and actions. Okay, this is going to be very, very, very important. The truth is that we behave differently with different people, and I noticed that my people-pleasing tendencies and behaviors got really, really, really bad consistently when I was in relationships, specifically romantic relationships. And I want to say that up until my, I want to say mid-20s, I had a very, very, very anxious attachment style. I'm glad to say that I no longer have that, but it was extremely prominent and there is nothing seemingly that I could do about that. I didn't really follow anyone who talked about these things and who could guide me gently out of that and who could help me protect myself and to redirect my attention onto myself and my own needs. And that is really upsetting because that is a big reason I did not get to enjoy my early 20s that much, because I just spent so much time in anxiety, and not only because of relationships, because honestly I did not spend that much time in relationships anyway, and there was so many other things to worry about and be like actually stressed about, unfortunately. But and like I just have to say that it's okay because all those roads led me to where I am right now, and I'm extremely grateful to be where I am right now. But at the same time, it just caused so much stress and it caused so much anxiety. It's actually crazy, okay? And like harmful. So it caused me to lose sleep. It caused me to not enjoy my life. And again, pay attention to that specifically. If you notice if you by any chance start prioritizing your partner, for example, or maybe you, and I mean prioritize in a way that like you put your own needs last basically, or even second. And I'm not talking about situations where it's a crisis or it's an emergency and you actually need to attend to another person's needs because their well-being, their health, God forbid their life depends on it, or they actively need your help and it's like really not about you in that situation. That's not what I'm talking about. We're not talking about emergencies here. So please, just please pay attention to that. Okay, if you need to attend to like some minor need while someone else is really going through it, that's a different situation. Very, very different situation. Okay, we're talking about generally here. That's very important. So basically, yes, do notice if you tend to prioritize your friendships, if you tend to prioritize your colleagues' needs, maybe the needs of your boss, your family's requests, and whatever it is, people's mood swings, if you need to be attending to people's mood swings and like keep peace, and you need to be managing the mood in the household or something like that, and because of that, you are kind of putting yourself in the background. Like that is, I feel like these kind of behaviors used to be really romanticized. And I'm not even going to say people in general, because like that is, men were never really told those things, literally ever. Women were sold these images since we were little girls, forever and always, from fairy tales, from different stories. That is how we have been seen to be good people and good women. If we were very like selfless and we were really caring, specifically of other people before catering to ourselves. So yeah, that might sound like a cute idea. It might sound like something that makes you a really loving person, and you might think that that will result in people loving you and actually caring about you, and I guess treating you better, and seeing you as more important than, let's say, you see yourself. But I have bad news for you. That only works when you're really young, and as you mature and you get experience, you quickly learn that that only results in people using you more, okay? And that only results in people actually disrespecting you, because people do respect someone with agency and someone with self-respect. And another thing is that if you're doing all these things, you are subconsciously trying to perform for other people to earn their love, to earn their trust, and maybe to prove to yourself that you are worthy of all those things. But that is kind of manipulative at the same time, if you really look at it. And I feel like in this specific case, the person you're harming the most is yourself. Like, you're not harming other people because you're helping them, you're being of service, but you are actively harming yourself. Okay, you are actively causing harm to yourself, and that will become more and more apparent as you get older, as you become more mature, hopefully. And the way to become more mature rather than just older is to actually learn from your lessons. Okay, learn from the lessons that life is giving you. It's okay. It's okay. We're gonna be finding a way out of this. What putting yourself last can look like is prioritizing the plans that other people make over the plans that you have for yourself, or not making any plans for yourself and hoping that someone else will just pick you up and basically take care of things, right? It also looks like not really engaging in your own life and not really prioritizing pursuing your own goals and your dreams and attending to your own needs and your desires and your wishes, because you might think it's selfish, for example. And the word selfish has been really ingrained in our minds as something really evil and something that we should not be doing. Like, this makes us bad and unlovable and maybe cruel and horrible. But the truth of the matter is that you cannot love other people truly until you understand the depths of your self-love. Okay? Remember the drag race. Okay? If you don't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love somebody else? And it is that deep, as a matter of fact. Another thing is that you cannot pour from an empty cup. If you consistently prioritize other people, you are not catering to yourself. You're not filling your own cup, and therefore you actually cannot be that helpful to other people when they actually need you. That's another thing, as a matter of fact, okay? That is if you actually want to be a good friend and a partner and, be helpful not just in appearance, but in service as well to other people that you actually love and care about. I did not intend to spend so much time on this first point, but pay attention to how you act with different people, and around which people specifically your people pleasing tendencies tend to strike, I want to say. And maybe it's the case that it happens around pretty much everybody. And that's okay. That's okay. But just pay attention to that and notice that. Now, I want you to be mindful. I want you to be very gentle with yourself, and I want you to reflect. Okay, once you notice these things, moving forward, I want you to be very, very mindful. All right, not super careful, but just be mindful of your surroundings, be mindful of yourself and your own behaviors, be very mindful of how you actually act. And when it comes to reflecting, I believe it's a really good idea to have a writing practice of any kind, or some kind of self-care practice. It's a good idea to journal as well. And because, journaling really helps to put your thoughts together and make sense of how you're feeling, make sense of what happened to you, make sense of whatever situation you're dealing with, and it helps you to digest that and helps you to move forward, to come up with some kind of conclusion and solution as well. I keep talking about boundaries, and I will never stop talking about boundaries, but you have got to start introducing boundaries. We don't make boundaries for other people, we make boundaries for ourselves, and that's fundamental. That is essential You cannot go without that. I will attach a video that I made previously about boundaries, and I really want you to watch it very, very carefully and potentially maybe do your own research on boundaries. Start introducing boundaries in order to protect yourself, to protect your own peace and protect your own energy. That is extremely, extremely important, especially if you're a woman. Not necessarily a young woman, any woman of any age, doesn't matter. You have to preserve your own peace and your own energy, because a lot of the times we are, again, brought up, we are raised to serve to other people, to put other people first and to put their needs first, but nobody else is taught to cater to us, okay? Men are not taught that. So if you have a family, for example, you have to also do that. You have to remember to prioritize yourself and to protect your peace. Now, after you have implemented all these things, and maybe you have already implemented those things, which is fantastic and phenomenal, I still want to check in with yourself on a regular basis. You know how you check in with your friends, or you check in with your loved ones? I want you to do the same thing with yourself. Yeah, I want you to really check in with yourself. One of the best things you can do to actually do that really, really well, besides journaling and actually like sitting with yourself and reflecting again, is a full body scan meditation. If that is something that you can introduce into your routine, that would be fantastic, because you will actually be releasing yourself from so much energy that you do not want to carry anymore, from so much baggage, from so much hurt, and from so many different, maybe hurtful, unpleasant thoughts that you just don't want to carry in your body anymore, you know? Because the things that we don't release, we carry in our bodies. And that's why it's really important to do a full check-in with yourself, honestly, on a regular basis. It's a fantastic idea to have self-care rituals and practices that you do with yourself. Again, it can look like a journaling practice. It can look like a tarot practice. You can light some candles. You can do some yoga. You can do some meditation. You can make a vision board, or you can spend some time on Pinterest and look at the things that inspire you. You know, it can look like things that you actually love doing and enjoy doing, and things that fill your cup. I do recommend spending time in solitude on a regular basis. And if that is something that you can do, please embrace that, all right? Because that actually helps to, again, check in with yourself and like regulate yourself, attend to your needs and understand what it is that you're lacking in this very moment, and to give it to yourself. Another thing is that if you don't know how to treat yourself with love, like actually, because I used to struggle with that, like on a whole other level, I genuinely had no idea how to, love myself. I had no idea what that looks like, because I always found it so much easier to love another person if I was in a relationship, or to like be with my friends, like be with other people. And I always felt like it was very easy for me to give love. I had no idea how to direct it to myself. I genuinely had no idea. I'm not even joking. And I feel like that's a topic that's kind of talked about so much, but it still leaves you kind of confused a lot of the times. I was left confused a lot of the times, because I actually was like, well, a face mask doesn't make me feel like I did all that much, to be honest with you. Face masks and things like that, I personally put in a category of like, skincare, body care, beauty maintenance and stuff like that. Not something that I do to like relax and to attend to my inner world necessarily. So if you are struggling with that, treat yourself like someone you love very much. Treat yourself like a beloved friend. Treat yourself like a loved one. What would you say to someone you love very, very much? Maybe a family member who comes to you and asks for help, for advice, or shares their thoughts with you. How would you attend to that? That's exactly how I want you to treat yourself. Okay? Yeah. This will, in the long run, protect you from so many situations when you can be hurt by other people just being blatantly ignorant, because you think that you're being a good person and you are being so kind and so attentive, and that's why you expect the same attitude back to you. But the thing is that as we're getting older, it's very important to understand that this is not how life works, and it's never been the case. Things never work that way, actually. People will treat you as good as you treat yourself, but also as good as they treat themselves. That's important as well, so you do not kind of aimlessly, project onto other people and think that you're not doing something right if they're treating you poorly. Sometimes people are just like assholes. Sometimes it's just what it is. And you have to, for that reason as well, to protect your peace and to attend to yourself, because you can't expect people to show up for you when you're not even showing up for yourself. I'm sorry if my camera was a bit shaky there. I was very, very expressive there. So yes, this is something that I really want to talk to you about, because it caused so much hurt. It caused me so much suffering and so many tears and so much pain, including physical pain in my body, which I didn't even know can happen that badly, from consistently not showing up for yourself, you guys. That actually made me cry and made me feel really sad, because I genuinely thought that I made so much progress, and I did make the progress, but apparently there was still a long way to go, and hopefully not that long of a way, but we live and we learn, and we'll be gentle and kind to ourselves. But that is something that I wanted to share with you today. And that is truly the biggest thing, one of the biggest things that I learned in 30 years on this earth, is that you have got to be gentle with yourself. You have got to be genuinely kind, and you have got to put yourself first. Okay? And self-care is not selfish. Yeah, it's okay not to feel okay, but you have got to address that. You have got to actually do something about that and sit there with yourself and be your own best friend. So anyways, thank you so very much, you guys, for watching this video. Please like this video and share it with your loved ones. Leave me a comment. You can wish me happy birthday in the comments. I would really appreciate that. And please subscribe to my channel. That would be the best birthday gift again. And that would support me tremendously. I really love this channel, and I really love making videos for you. So that would be really, really wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so very much, you guys, once again. And I will see you in the next one.